Welcome back to the Word Expanded the Gospels. Hey, we're in Matthew chapter 13. Moving right along, we're trying to take each little section, not verse by verse, but sometimes it ends up like last time being one verse. But here we have two. So read with me Matthew chapter 13, verses 45, 46. It says, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls, who in finding one pearl of great value went, sold all that he had, and bought it." Again, we could make this a 2-minute video, or I could make this a 2-hour video just on these couple verses. The truth is, Jesus continually, in simplistic form, puts out there the concept of the kingdom of heaven. The fact that you and I need to value the kingdom of heaven above everything else. So the idea of this parable, right, is that we're out doing life, and then we find the way, the truth, and the life, and we give up everything else for Jesus. Again, the concept is you have to be willing to do it. Do you know that some of these Christians who are just truly love the Lord and they're Christ followers, right? Some of them who have lots of resources, lots of things, they have those things simply because God knows that if he asked and if he asks of them, they will just give it. They have, because God knows the answer to this question is they've already sold everything they have. They've already bought the great pearl, right? They have already given him everything. And over and over and over, God is taking that which he has given them and asking them to give it to someone else. Give it out, use it. And then God replenishes. It's one of those principles in the Old Testament that God says, challenge me on this. Right? You cannot outgive God. Now, that doesn't mean you get to go give your bank account to anybody. It means, hey, I'm going to give my bank account as God sees fit. But you and I, we have to value Jesus. We have to value the kingdom of Jesus. We have to value having a relationship with God the Father over anything else. That's the question. Right? The question today and every day is, do you value the kingdom above all else? When asked by your boss to do something they shouldn't do, is the kingdom of heaven first? When asked to do this or this or this, when asked by your family to give up the things that God has called you to do you tell them no? Right? Or do you say, listen, above all else are the things of God. I'm not talking about church things, just for the record. Those can be godly. Those can be good. I'm talking about what God asks. If your child has a basketball game, super valuable to go support your child. But God says, hey, I need you to go to the hospital and visit this person tonight. Do you sell everything else and go to the hospital because that's what God has called you to do? Right? Like, this is what is important to God. We have substituted tons of other things and tried to legalisticalize this stuff, and it just doesn't work. We need to be open to forsaking all meaning all other things but Jesus. Right? We need to be willing to do that. So you chew on that. We'll see you right here next time on the Word Expanded the Gospels.